Hey, it's Caressa.
And not Maddie. Jocelyn.
You're not watching the Disney Channel right now. You're listening to
Dreadfully Twisted.
Hey, sorry, Maddie's not here this week because she's sick. So Jocelyn's covering.
Hi.
And this episode might be a little bit shorter just because I'm doing something completely different because I think that this is a very interesting topic. It's not true crime and it's somewhat paranormal.
Ooh.
It's going to be the paranormal spooky games that you can play, like Ouija boards and stuff like that. But I'm not covering Ouija boards today.
Yeah, no, Ouija boards freak me out.
Yeah, no. But I have 4 of them, and I might add another one at the end, depending on how much time permits. But yeah, so because I thought that was interesting, and I heard about some of these, and I was like, oh my god, that's so scary.
So then you just decided to try to make it a topic.
Yeah, because I've listened to other podcasts that did cover stuff like this, but in a completely different way, and I was just like, that would be interesting. And I got the idea just randomly last week because I listened to that podcast years ago.
Yeah.
But I was just this week I was just like, what should I cover? I was like, I want to do something paranormal, and then I was like, let's do spooky games.
Yeah. So are you talking spooky games as in kind of what I guess my friends and I used to play in the elementary school bathroom? So I think the game was called Bloody Mary or something like that. Is it something along those lines?
Yeah, definitely. Some of these are not called games, they're called rituals.
Oh. That just made it more intense.
Yeah. Whenever I was researching them, I was like, I thought these were games, but it kept saying this ritual. I was like, what? It's what are we summoning here?
What on earth is happening?
And then I got scared with a couple of them. I was like, this is freaky.
Well, I think it's right up my alley because this sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's why I was like, whenever Maddie said she was sick, and I was like, well, you like paranormal stuff, and you like spooky games we talked about a little bit a couple days ago. Yeah. And I was like, this would be interesting because it's not bloody.
Not something people typically talk about. I don't really hear a lot about these kind of games anymore.
Me either. And I also, I'm going to preface this before I even start. I do not recommend playing these games. They are very dangerous. If you believe in this stuff, they're very dangerous. Do not do it.
Yeah. Just by personal experience, when my friends would do the Bloody Mary game in elementary school, it was pretty scary and it can be traumatizing. So
yeah.
highly recommended not to do these.
Yeah. Because I used to play the Ouija board with my friend and whenever I was 12, and it freaked me out every time we did it, but it was on paper, so I want to believe it wasn't real. We wrote it out, so I want to believe it wasn't real. But you don't know,
you never know. I mean, you were 12, but at the same time we believed in that stuff, so
yeah. And I look back at it, and whenever I was friends with this girl, we would play this with the Ouija board in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. So it made it work.
That's just a recipe for disaster.
And then I look back and why did I do that? I'm stupid.
Because at the time it sounded like a great idea.
Oh no, I was 12. I just blame it on that. I was a kid. I didn't know.
I was young. We thought it was a good idea. Okay. All right. So
12 years ago.
So what is on this list here? What are we doing?
So the first one is called the Sandman.
Ooh. Like Enter Sandman from Metallica?
Yeah, because that's where the mythology, and I'll go some of these have an origin story, some of them don't.
Okay.
So I'll go into the origin story after.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just start here with the Sandman.
Okay.
So this game is also known as Sandbags, which is kind of a cute name.
Oh, it is kind of cute.
And for this game you need at least 2 people.
Okay.
But you could play with up to 4 people.
Okay.
It's a paranormal game that kids play at sleepovers. However, I'm going to say this again, I do not recommend playing any of these.
These are just for entertainment purposes in this video.
Yeah. Well, podcast.
Sorry.
You can't see us.
Same difference to me. Sorry.
It's supposed to make your entire body feel like sand, making it hard to move or stand. Sorry, I wrote this. I didn't type it out, so I'm gonna mess up my words because I can't read my handwriting. Because it started off neat and then it got messy at the end.
It's supposed to make your body like sand.
Yeah, so it's supposed to make it hard to move or to stand. Each participant has to choose who they want to be in the game. You get a choice of being it or the narrator. The it person will lay on the floor with their eyes closed while the narrator sits next to them in order to guide them through the journey of the Sandman game.
Oh.
So the setup of it, first you have to decide who's it during the game. The selected person lays down on the floor with their eyes closed. If more than 2 people are playing, the rest of the party players should sit in a the heck is that? Okay. The rest of the participants should sit in a circle around the person who's it. The narrator and the narrator. So like the narrator and the person that's it will sit in the middle, and then everybody else will circle around them, which is kind of freaky. It seems like a ritual at that point.
Yeah, it does.
They're
the sacrifice.
That's what it seems like, really. It gets worse.
Oh, geez.
So the narrator then will tell the person laying down a made-up story about how they were either injured or died.
Oh, fantastic.
And they later were cut open to be filled with sand.
Oh my god. It gets worse.
I told you. Whenever the narrator talks about any part of the person laying down's body part, like if they talk about their arm or like their leg or something, they have to run their finger lightly up and down that specific part of the body. I guess for like all senses, like
thing. A
thing.
sensational thing to yeah, okay.
So I kind of thought that was weird, but that's just me.
I guess that kind of gives them like the illusion that like this is the body part they're talking about.
Yeah. I burp so much whenever I talk. Once the story is over, the person laying down will have to try to get up or stand up. Their body will feel heavy as it was filled with sand. They will struggle to get up, and the it person has to do everything in their power to get up without the help of anybody else there. If they fail, they will be possessed by a demonic spirit.
Oh!
Who will live in their minds forever.
Oh! That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives the urgency, I guess. Like, hey, you gotta get up, do it now.
Yeah.
You know?
The feeling of having your body fill with sand is known to be a demonic presence taking over your body, so having to stand up in order to get rid of it should be taken seriously, because that's like you overpowering it.
Yeah.
I guess is what that means.
I also take it as like, if your body feels like sand, you have to get up, otherwise, like, you know, the urgency is there, like you got to get up, otherwise you're going to be possessed.
Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah.
Those who have failed never stay the same, as the research that I've done. That's what like the one report said. Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah.
There are reports that people who have played the game have also gone missing.
Oh.
Yeah. Allegedly. But I kind of believe that. So
I mean, technically if they did get possessed, could just kind of run off, and who knows what happened.
Yeah.
Creepy.
While I was like researching these, I just kept thinking about Supernatural. Because the one involves salt, so I was like, Supernatural!
This is coming from the girl who has probably not said anything about it, but she is super obsessed with the show Supernatural.
Oh, no, they know.
Okay.
I was giving them like a cap by cap, like, oh, I'm in season whatever now. And then last week I was like,
okay.
yeah, I finished the season, so now I'm watching Criminal Minds.
Okay. So yeah. Just a mild obsession.
Mild, yeah. That's what I'll say. I did not do these because it reminded me of Supernatural or anything.
No, of course not.
And I also have a couple ideas for like future cases that I got from Supernatural. Because like one of the episodes was based off of like this Hell House.
Oh yeah.
This Mary's Hell House in Maryland, so I wanted to cover that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do that, but I was like, that's gonna take a while. So that's why I was like, I'll do games instead.
That'll be for another time.
Yeah.
That might have to be a 2-parter.
Yeah. So the instructions are as follows. Step 1, lay down on the floor with your eyes closed. Step 2, have your friend sit behind you. If playing in a group, the other players should form a circle around you. And the lights also have to be out and the room should be quiet. So like it has to be completely dark,
Mm-hmm.
which is not. I don't like that.
No. Terrified of the dark. I'm already not no.
Yeah, and the next story, like the next game after this, I'm terrified of that too. So,
Ooh.
yeah. Step 3, your friend will now tell you a made-up story about your death.
Huh.
Step 4, every time a specific part of the body is mentioned in the story, the other players, so like not just the narrator, but like everybody has to touch that part of the body.
Like everybody who is not the person that's it, like
Yeah.
all participating.
So if like you're playing with more than 2 players and you have like a third player or a fourth player, they also have to.
Okay.
Yeah. Step 5, after the story is over, you have to stand up as soon as possible. Step 6, if you don't get up in time, you risk getting possessed. So those are the steps, even though I'm kind of repeating myself there, but just letting you know step by step. And then if you would play this game, which I, again, 10 out of 10 do not recommend, it is very important to protect yourself, especially when playing a curse game. This game recommends using a stone of luck and protection, also known as I'm gonna freaking butcher this, but Antares Lucio, while playing these games.
Yeah, I've never.
The stone was enchanted by a powerful witch known as Aria Cyrus to provide a blanket of security of shield against negative energy while playing games. This game involves inducing a state of altered consciousness in which the players can communicate with the spirit of the Sandman. Sandman is a benevolent spirit, which benevolent means bad, right?
Malevolent is bad.
Oh, benevolent is good. Okay.
Yeah.
I got that mixed up. I was like, that's bad, right?
I only know that because I'm pretty sure there's a movie called Malevolent and I've seen it.
Who can grant wishes and answer questions while players are in a state of deep relaxation. Another version of the game is not so scary, but I still don't recommend playing it. You would need a comfy and quiet room where the players can lie down and relax. Soft and comfy blankets or sleeping bags for each player. Pillows and cushions to ensure that players are comfy.
This sounds fun.
Yeah. A dimly lit room or candles to create a relaxing, calming atmosphere.
Okay.
A quiet and calming playlist of music or nature sounds to help players relax.
Mm-hmm.
It says the next thing is optional, but a dream catcher or other protective charm to hang in the room just for like protection.
Good luck, yeah.
This version's games and rules and how to play are: Step 1, to play the Sandman game, first gather all players in the designated room and make sure everyone is comfy and relaxed. It's important that all players are in positive state of mind and are at ease. Step 2, turn off all electronics and lights or use dim lighting to create a calming atmosphere.
Okay.
Step 3, play a calming playlist of music or nature sounds to help players relax. Step 4, each player playing the game should lie down on their sleeping bags or blanket and cover themselves with it.
Okay.
Make sure each player is warm and comfy. Step 5, players should close their eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Encourage them to clear their minds of any distracting thoughts.
Oh, that would be difficult
And
for me.
focus on their breathing. Yeah, I can't do that either. I'm like, what's that? My mind's like racing 24/7.
Right, same.
Okay, hold on. I need a drink of water. I'm talking, so I need water. Step 6, the group leader or the person who knows how to play the game should lead the group through a I was gonna say guac. That's just how it sounded. That's how it sounded. Okay. I was not gonna say guacamole. Group through a guided meditation to help prove. I can't. Told you my handwriting's bad.
Didn't think it was that bad.
No, it just I don't know. I'm thinking about Mexican food because I'm hungry.
Sorry.
Because I didn't eat dinner yet.
Oh.
I will though whenever I get home. But so I thought of Mexican food and I thought of guacamole. See, I can't. My mind's always racing.
Yeah.
But the group leader should lead the group through a guided meditation to help players reach a state of deep relaxation. The meditation should focus on calming the mind, relaxing the body, and visualizing peaceful and safe environment. Step 7, once the players are in a deep state of relaxation, the group leader should instruct them to visualize a staircase leading down to a door. And then how to play the actual game, because I was just like,
The setup.
start.
Yeah.
Step 1, the players should visualize themselves walking down the staircase and opening the door. They should imagine themselves entering a peaceful and serene environment, such as like a garden, a forest, or a beach, or whatever you find peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
The group leader should then instruct the players to look for the Sandman in their visualization. Players may see him as a figure or an object, such as a feather or a cloud.
Okay.
This one sounds very, like, pleasant.
I know, right? I'm like, okay, this sounds great.
Well, step 3, once the players have located him, they should ask him a question or make a wish. The Sandman will then answer the question or grant the wish. Step 4, after players have either asked their question or made their wish, the leader will instruct them to thank the Sandman for his help. Step 5, the leader will then guide the players back up the staircase and closing the door. Step 6, players then will slowly open their eyes to take a few deep breaths and sit up so they can take a few moments to process their experience and share their thoughts with the group. And then there are safety precautions when playing this game. Never force anyone to participate in the game if they feel uncomfortable or don't want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that the room is free of any hazards such as sharp objects or tripping hazards. If players have any medical conditions or concerns, then playing isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And again, I 10 out of 10 do not recommend. But this one sounds a little bit more pleasant because like you're just asking him.
You're essentially
a
asking
question.
for a wish or a question.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't seem like it's entirely bad, but still not recommended, just in case anything were to happen.
Like anything could go wrong.
Yeah. Like if your mind's not, what is it, completely positive.
If your mind is not completely positive, you're not completely relaxed, and you have nothing else on your mind, like you have to be like completely in a good state.
Like kind of like in like a deep meditation.
Yeah, and if you're not, then you might not encounter the Sandman.
Yeah, you might
the good
not,
Sandman, not the bad Sandman.
Yeah, you might not get the same outcome.
Yeah,
if that's the case. So this is probably why it's not recommended.
Yeah. But then like a little bit of like the origin and or mythology of the Sandman. The Sandman is a character that is presented in different forms throughout history and culture. From ancient folklore to modern day literature, the underlying idea of the Sandman remains the same. It is said that the Sandman is to bring sleep to children by sprinkling sand or dust into their eyes. That would hurt.
Yeah, it would. Like try getting
That's not gonna make me sleep. That's just gonna make me be mad because now I have sand in my eyes and they burn.
Why does it feel like glass in my eye? Like, but no, I've seen that's a depiction I've seen before, and like even in like movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how they depict him.
Yeah. The origins can be traced back to ancient Greek and Roman mythology. One most well-known figures associated with the Sandman is Hypnos, the god of sleep in Greek mythology.
Yep.
In Roman mythology, the Sandman is associated with Somnus. Yeah, I don't know if I said that right. What's Somnus?
Yeah, that would be Somnus. Something I did not
Fact.
wouldn't be expect, but I did take a Greek mythology class, Greek Roman mythology class in high school, and I don't think that's mythological they covered.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's what I found out like throughout my research.
Yeah.
The Sandman also appears in folklore and fairy tales from various cultures. I tried researching where this game originated, but I just kept getting the video game called The Sandman.
Yeah.
Whenever I was like researching, so I was just like, I can't really find like when exactly it started, but it can be traced back to like Greek and Roman times. So
pretty old. Yeah.
We said that at the same time.
Ew, gross.
If you guys can't tell, she's my sister.
Yeah.
And then the next game, this game freaks me out because I am terrified of elevators.
What game is this?
The elevator game.
Oh, I should have known it was called elevator game.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
Yeah, I only know about this one because, and I'll get to it. There's a true crime case that people believe that the girl is playing this elevator game.
Oh.
And there's a video of her, and ever since I saw that video like 2 years ago, I've been haunted by it. Yeah.
So the fact that I already hate elevators this is probably gonna be
Probably.
Oh yeah. Continue.
Okay. Because I don't like elevators. I refuse to use them. Like they scare me. Like
I'd rather walk up 6 flights of stairs than take an elevator.
Me too.
Yeah. I did that when I went to the Art Institute.
Yeah. I would too.
Especially since that one broke all the time.
Oh yeah. So to start off saying this one really freaks me out. The elevator game is a legend that you use the elevator to get into another dimension, but you have to be careful.
Oh. Is it bad that I've always like imagined that that would happen? Like when I was in an elevator, I would like, is it going to be the same door when it opens?
My God. Really?
Yeah. I thought it was just my crazy imagination.
No.
I would sit there and be like, I wonder if the same place is gonna be there when the door opens.
Maybe in a past life you played this game.
Oh no. I don't want to think about that. That past life I played this game and probably died from it or something.
Oh God, no, I didn't mean that. Does anybody else like imagine that when they're in an elevator? Because the only thing I'm thinking when I'm on an elevator is, please get me out of here. I don't want to die and I don't want to fall like 10 feet down.
That's just where my mind goes. Like it's either that, like I'm freaking out and like gotta get out of here, or like if it's a calm elevator and like it's not like rickety and like, you know, broken like the one at school. If it's like just a regular basic like, you know, newer elevator, then I'm always like, if that door's gonna open, it's gonna take me into a different reality.
No, that's just really interesting. Like I didn't think that anybody like, I don't think that, but like, wow.
Well, this is also coming from a very creative person who watches anime all the time and hopes that I go into an anime world. So
that's true. But if anybody else listening has that, please let me know. Like, let us know.
Comment on it.
Yeah, comment on our post on social media or something, or like send us an email. I would love to hear like, if you do, or if you have, played these games and you have stories, please send them in to our email, dreadfullytwistedpodcast@gmail.com, because I would love to read them just to see everybody else's like opinions or whatever. Just because like this intrigues me like so much.
Yeah.
And if you do think that, because that's like, I never thought that.
I'm weird.
No, I'm weird too, but like, that kind of like fascinates me.
Well, as Patrick says, the inner workings of my mind are an enigma.
SpongeBob reference? Okay, so
you were at the whole, when the doors open, it would take you to a different.
Yeah, so, okay. Did I say you have to be careful when playing this game, though?
I don't think you did, but I'm pretty sure at this point it's like a given that.
Yeah, just be careful. The origin, many believe the game's first came from South Korea in the early 2000s. However, it did not.
Oh.
Sorry. The game and legend became extremely popular around 2014, but the earliest mention of the game came around 2008 in Japan.
Ah, my second favorite, or first favorite Asian country. Second favorite was Korea. The
original game and legend stops once the elevator doors open on the 10th floor.
Oh, you know what? That actually makes sense because Japan has a lot of people that claim that there's been a lot of things that happen in elevators. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'll get to that later, and I'm actually going to talk about something that did happen in Japan in 2006. So in 2006 in Japan, there was a huge investigation into the manufacturing of elevators in Japan after the Minato Ward. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that person's name.
Minato Ward.
Okay, yeah. You say that again.
Minato?
Okay. Ward accident, which was in June 2006. A 16-year-old student was killed after using an elevator monitored by SEC Elevator Co. Ltd. There was an investigation, and it was found that the manufacturer and maintenance crews were responsible for not taking proper precautions.
Ooh.
The faulty elevators were replaced after the investigation, but the investigation suggested faulty brakes, loose bolts, and poor maintenance.
Oh.
This is whenever I start getting freaked out. So that's like my biggest fear whenever I go into an elevator. Yeah. I'm afraid it's gonna fall.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid like it's gonna just like, like anything could happen when you're
anything could happen. Like stuff like that. I mean, obviously that happened, but like you never know how safe it actually is, and that could happen at a moment's notice. Like,
yeah.
And it's scary to think about.
Terrifying.
There are ways you can Google and YouTube them, but there are ways people have explained if the elevator does happen to do that to protect you.
Yeah. That's why I just avoid taking elevators like anywhere.
Yeah. If you can avoid it, just avoid it. If not, like I said, there are ways. I've seen videos of people preparing people for that kind of instance where if an elevator does happen to be faulty and it does break away from the, I think it's like a cord or something that pulls it.
Yeah.
There are ways to break the fall where it's not going to break you.
Yeah. I think you have to lie on your back or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. I can't remember
Because
exactly.
I have seen things. And like, this is just a funny little tidbit. When I'm at work and I do take the elevator, because whenever I had my broken tailbone, I had to take the elevator because I couldn't take the stairs.
Yeah.
But at work, I would sit in the elevator. I'm like, please just break down. Get me trapped in here all day so I don't have to actually do work.
Like, don't fall. I mean,
Don't
it's only
fall. Just stop.
the elevator's only 2 stories
Just
high.
stop for like maybe like an hour.
Just like,
Or until I start panicking, and then you can start working again.
just like, just be like a random occurrence that like just kind of like the doors just don't open or something, and like just leave me in here for 2 hours. It's fine.
Yeah. I have my phone. I'm good.
Yeah, I got my entertainment.
But I have thought that a couple times.
But that's not as bad as like it actually breaking and falling.
Yeah,
either.
because it's only 2 floors, so.
Yeah.
But I never take the elevator anyway. Like, I just always prefer to take the stairs, but whenever I had my broken tailbone, I couldn't really walk.
Yeah.
So I had to take the elevator because my office is on the 2nd floor.
Oh, go figure, right?
So, okay, where was I? So, while the doors, so what happened was because the elevator was moving up unprompted while the doors were open. I don't know what happened, but you can probably use your imagination what happened with this incident.
Are we still talking about Minato?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what happened. People believe the elevator game became an urban legend to cope with the tragic accident because rather than feeling that the elevator that you're riding in was poorly maintained, to some it was easier to believe that unless you follow a specific set of instructions, nothing paranormal or out of the ordinary would happen.
Mm.
So that's where it's believed that this was created because of this incident or accident.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible thing that should have not happened, but
Yeah.
yeah. So the elevator game, which is also known as Elevator to Another World or Elevator Ritual.
I thought you were gonna say
That would be a nice name for it too.
missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. We're now renaming it to Elevator to Hell.
Anyway, it just sounds like a cooler name.
Yeah.
But
it depicts an incredibly specific set of instructions to allow a person to travel to another dimension through using an elevator. The game is so
specific.
yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That the players I can never say specific. I stutter every single time and I'm just like whatever. It's fine. You should know by now I stutter a lot. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's because my brain moves way faster than my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't keep up.
What I call a word salad.
Yeah, or a word vomit.
Yeah, word vomit.
As Kira calls it.
I say word salad.
So specific that the players are warned that if any step is done wrong, the ritual either just won't work or will have disastrous consequences.
Oh.
Yeah. The steps include finding an elevator in a building with a minimum of 10 floors and little to no people. The game is ruined if another person hits the elevator button.
Oh, yeah, I could see how that would prevent the game from being played properly.
Yeah, and you'll see after a certain point, you can't stop. So if that happens, you're screwed.
Oh.
Yeah. Once you found the elevator meeting the requirements, there is a series of steps to take to get to the 10th floor. If done right, you will enter another dimension. Not only do you have to be wary of others using the elevator, but it's rumored that when you reach the 5th floor, a spirit might enter.
Oh.
Yeah. And at all costs, you have to ignore the spirit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll get into that later. Sorry if you heard my necklaces. I just itched my collarbone. The other dimension the legend speaks of is not one specific one, though you would be able to tell you entered a new dimension once you get there, because you will be completely alone and any electronic devices that you had won't work, and all you see is a red cross in the distance.
Oh, that's not, ominous at all.
Yeah. Then there are specific rules and methods to return back to your world, just as mentioned, or just as many precautions and rules as getting there. Before I get into the details of how to play, I want to reiterate this game is very dangerous and I do not recommend or suggest in any way to play. Also, I just want to add, this game became popular in 2014 after Elisa Lam's disappearance and death at the Cecil Hotel.
Oh, where was that?
California.
I was gonna say Las Vegas, but
Close.
That's a different hotel.
It was actually Los Angeles, so you were close.
Close.
Also, oh yeah. So this is the video footage I was talking about of her before in an elevator, and I watched it like 2 years ago, and it freaks me out. Conspiracy theorists and paranormal fanatics say that she was playing the game, and it's been very much influenced by the internet. So that's where like it really got like into it, because now they're making a movie about this too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a scary movie. Whenever I was researching, I kept getting that. I don't know if it came out already or if it is coming out, but there is a movie about this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, how to play the elevator game. There are many steps, but you're not just playing the game, it's also surviving throughout it. It is very important that you follow them correctly and in the exact order. I felt like I had to sneeze for a second. I don't know why. Every time I'm on the podcast, I just burp. Like, I can talk any other time, but once I'm talking,
fine.
whenever I'm talking on the podcast, my stomach is like, you have to burp right now, just because you're gross, and I want people to know that you're gross.
It happens.
Yeah. And you will need at least one player in an elevator in a building with a minimum of 10 floors. The steps are: Step 1, you enter the elevator alone or with another player. No outsider can enter the elevator, and you can't leave at this point. If you do leave, you have to start over. Step 2, you then have to ride the floor to floor in a specific sequence. You have to go up to the 4th floor, down to the 2nd floor, up to the 6th floor, back down to the 2nd floor, up to the 10th floor, and then down to the 5th floor. Remember, you cannot get off at any point or at any of the floors. You have to stay on the elevator. So you can't get off or the game will end, or...
So even if the door's open, you have to stay in.
You have to stay in. Doors open, you just stay put.
Okay.
And you don't leave at any point. Just in the elevator this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then step 3, once you get to the 5th floor, and if you encounter a mysterious woman and or spirit, do not look at her or the spirit. Do not answer her and do not interact with her in any way at all.
Will the spirit try to interact with you?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
If you do, there's a possibility of never returning to the real world. But the spirit will try to get you to interact with, like, it'll be talking to you, it'll be, like, doing whatever, and it will be trying to get to, but even if you look at it, so if the door is open,
like,
and
don't make eye contact.
You look up and you see it, you're screwed.
Okay.
You're screwed.
So it's essentially don't look out the doors once you get to...
Yeah, and don't look around. Like, you have to just look at the
buttons.
Yeah.
Press the buttons.
But the thing is, what if, like, the spirit, like, goes in front of you while you're looking at the buttons? Like...
But they would have to be pretty close to the buttons. Like, they would have to, like,
that's
you know,
true.
it would have to be, like, pretty much phasing into the wall for that to happen.
Yeah,
so
but that would be kind of funny if it was just like, hey, look at me.
well, yeah. If it's really trying, then it might. But yeah, like, crazy that you can't even, like, look at it.
Yeah, you can't.
Not even in its general direction.
Like, you can't acknowledge it in any way, shape, or form.
Wow, that would be difficult.
That would be.
Yeah. Because my curious personality, I'd be like, what the...
Yeah. I would be too. And then step 4, not step floor. Step 4. Push the button to descend from the 5th floor to the 1st floor. Here is when things might go crazy. If the elevator operates normally and takes you to the 1st floor, leave immediately. Do not look back or talk to anyone. Just leave. Just go. Game's over.
Okay, so if you made it to this point, you're safe.
Yes. And this means, like, if it takes you to the 1st floor like it's supposed to, you're not allowed to go into this other dimension. So you're just go home. And do not talk to or interact with anybody on your way home.
Okay, so what would it be, like, deemed you unworthy to go to this other dimension, or is that, like, the point of, like, not to get there?
It's just what it decides, I guess. If it doesn't want you there, or if it does think you're unworthy, then no, you're not allowed.
Okay.
However, if it doesn't do that, and it will not take you from the 5th floor to the 1st floor, instead it'll go all the way up to the 10th floor.
Oh.
And if it does, then you are being allowed into the other dimension. Don't freak out and just press the emergency button and wait for the fire department to arrive with help. Which I don't understand. If you're now at this point, you're in a different dimension. How would the fire department even get to you?
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. Like they would probably, in my reasoning, like I'm kind of imagining like a Silent Hill situation where like
Yeah.
if you're already in that other dimension, they're gonna get there and you're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're gonna see nothing in that elevator.
Yeah. So like that kind of confused me because I like looked at many different like articles and like research and stuff, and it said the same thing, and I'm just like, but how?
Yeah.
How would they get to you?
Unless it
It's
could
just-
be that once the doors open, the possibility of going into the dimension is there if you were to breach the doorway.
Or maybe
You know, like
that does make sense.
you could wait there if, like, I mean, obviously, okay, you've made it to that point, but then it's like, okay, if you go any further, then you are definitely screwed. But you
Yeah.
have made it to the point where you've been deemed that you can go into this other world, but probably shouldn't. So call for help, and then they would come get you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're thinking of.
Maybe. That does make sense to me.
Yeah.
At this point is where all sorts of things will happen. Things might appear different, might be dark and spooky, power might be out, and no one will be around. You'll be completely alone, which is terrifying.
Mhm.
You might see that red cross in the distance, or you might even pass out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Better make sure you pull that button before you pass out.
And then the steps to return. It has several steps, and you have to follow them exactly, or you can get stuck in that world. Step 1. To get back to our world, you have to get on the same elevator as before. So finding it might be an issue, but you must keep looking for it until you do find it. Because things might appear different, so the elevator might be in a different place.
Oh.
So I'm just
Okay.
like, but I was also thinking, how are you to remember exactly what elevator you got into? Because they all look like relatively the same.
They all do look relatively the same, unless like you're in that building, then there's only one, like typically in a building, there's only one set of elevators.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be in a different spot, but it should still look like the elevator that you originally got into.
That's true.
There's only one set of elevators.
Yeah. Okay. So step 2. Once you enter the elevator again, move from the floor to floor in exactly the same way, the same sequence you did to get there. So floor 4, floor 2, floor 6, floor 2, floor 10, and then floor 5. Step 3, upon reaching the 5th floor, press the button to the first floor. Step 4, if the elevator starts ascending again, quickly press the button for any other floor before you reach the 10th floor, or you can simply press the emergency button for it to stop, sit down, and wait for help to arrive. And then, yeah. So, like, it would just be kind of, like, scary if it just, like, started taking you back to the 10th floor. and like, it's like, I want you here.
Yeah, and in that aspect too, like I would honestly hit like every single button.
Yeah.
You know, like be like that kid that you can't usually stand whenever you're in elevators and the kid's like pressing all the buttons.
Yeah.
I'd be doing that. Press all the buttons and whatever floor it lands on, get off.
Yeah. So I wanted to end the elevator game on the Lisa Lamb case.
Mm-hmm.
So quick, I'm just gonna go over it because I might want to cover this later because it was very interesting. Like there's a whole like docuseries on Netflix about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I like watched it, and that's where I saw like the video, and it was freaky.
This is just kind of like a Spark Notes version.
Yeah, kind of. So Elisa was staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, but her parents became concerned when they didn't hear from her the day she was supposed to check out. So they notified the police, and an investigation ensued. Police couldn't find any trace of her except for an eerie video of her behaving erratically in the hotel's elevator. In the video, Elisa Lamb is seen stepping into and out of the elevator several times, seemingly talking to someone who wasn't there, frantically pushing many of the elevator buttons, making gestures with her hands, and looking around in a paranoid fashion. Through all of this, elevator stayed in place and its doors never closed. After Elisa's body was discovered, naked and dead, in a water tank on the hotel's roof, theories abounded. Was she experiencing some sort of psychotic episode, or was there someone nearby but not captured on the elevator like camera,
Mm-hmm.
or was she playing the elevator game?
I mean, from what you explained about the elevator game, that could absolutely be what she was playing.
Yeah, because some people think that what happened was she was playing the elevator game because this place did have more than 10 floors.
Mm-hmm.
She was playing the elevator game, and once she got to the 5th floor,
Interacted with the spirit.
and that's what she was saying.
That's who she was talking.
I'm getting chills right now. Look, my hair's standing up.
I know, I see it. Oh my god. I got what I call goosebumps
Yeah.
going down my spine just like thinking about it.
But like that's what some people think.
Mm-hmm.
But like I watched the docuseries on Netflix before I even heard about the elevator game.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe she was just like either somebody killed her or she was having a psychotic episode, but like it could be literally anything.
Yeah.
But like that was just like, whoa, like what if she interacted with the person and then she got stuck doing that and then the camera couldn't pick it up?
Stuck in a loop kind of situation where you're stuck in that world interacting. And then like you said, you're screwed. And then she had no choice, but maybe she went all the way up to the 10th floor and they took her and then, you know, weird things happen and they probably end up killing her and dumped her in the, what was it, the water tank?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where she ended up.
Which, just side note, it was really gross because she was missing for days and that water tank was the water supply of the hotel. People were drinking that water while she decomposed.
Bro.
Yeah.
Showering with it?
Yep.
So you weren't actually clean? Oh. Gross.
Yeah. So that's just a little thing.
Thanks for that tidbit.
You're welcome.
Now when I get a shower tonight, that's all I'm going to think about.
But it's not going to be like that. It's not, though, because...
That's where my brain's going to go.
But no, that's where my brain goes, because I think it was... I don't know if it was a Criminal Minds episode.
It was a Criminal Minds episode where somebody gets a shower and starts spewing blood.
I watched that when I was like 7.
Uh-huh.
And ever since then, I've been terrified of showers.
You know what terrifies me about showers?
Somebody's hand coming up through the...
When I watched The Grudge.
I think that too. I've never seen The Grudge, but I think that too because my shower drain is big.
Oh no, this wasn't the shower drain.
Oh, it wasn't
The
shower
Grudge.
Drain?
I mean, I'm not sure who has ever seen The Grudge. That movie messed me up. Like I watched it in middle school. It messed me up. I couldn't sleep straight for weeks.
Another one that has Samara.
No, but there's a girl. There's a little Asian boy. I think it's also Japanese. Little Japanese boy, and then he kind of looks like a girl, but there's also like a mist figure that comes out of like the walls. It's a whole thing. It's based off of Japanese myth and stuff like that anyway. But that movie,
I kind of want to go into that mythology.
Yeah, you do not want to go into Japanese, like scary Japanese mythology. That is some messed up. No. But anyway, back to the Grudge story.
Yeah.
The shower scene. The one thing I remember from The Grudge, other than the thing coming out of the corner of the ceiling, is in the shower scene. The girl had just experienced some weird stuff with the little boy and everything, and she's starting to believe some of the mythology because she's from America. It's actually Sarah Michelle Gellar who plays the
Buffy.
actress. Yeah, she's in that movie. She's the main character.
Oh, now I need to watch it because I like her.
Oh, I refuse. I will not watch that movie ever again. She's getting a shower, and when she's showering, a hand comes out of the back of her head while she she goes like this and touches.
I've seen that scene before. No, but I do have a fear of like something coming out of the shower drain.
Yeah.
And
mine is usually like a giant spider or something.
Mine's a hand or somebody crawling.
No, I have a fear of like, I don't know why. I know it's an irrational fear because this hand literally comes out of the back of her head. But I have a fear like every so often I'll think, what if it comes out of my head?
Ooh.
Like, ugh. That movie messed me up. If you want to watch a scary movie, that's one movie that I will never, I've watched it once, I will never watch it again because how messed up it was. Again, I was in middle school. I was like 12, 13, but it was right around the time that movie came out, and all my friends were like, this is a great idea. Let's watch The Grudge. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I couldn't sleep for like months. Not to mention, we lived in a haunted house at that time.
Oh, yeah, that was, I'm not going to say the name of it, though, but that was the house that we liked above the store.
You know, the last time I was on this podcast, we talked about some of the experiences we had there.
Yeah.
But, we lived there at that time. So it was
It's funny.
It messed me up a little. So I don't care what anyone says. They can say that movie was dumb. I, to this day, will never watch it again.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Recommend it if you want to scare the crap out of yourself. But it's a messed up movie. And they came out with a second one. Never watched it.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Especially if you're that scared of it the first time.
Yeah. I've had nightmares about it.
Oh, God.
Like, anytime I go to the store, my husband will cover up the DVD cases so I don't have to look at it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
So, the next story...
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
That's okay. The next story is The Midnight Man, also known as The Midnight Game.
I don't think I've heard of this one either.
Nope, probably not. The Midnight Man game is a game where you have to survive the Midnight Man until 3:33 a.m.
Oh, I did hear about this game. Somebody I follow on TikTok talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this game has to be played exactly at 12 a.m. or it will not work.
Okay.
What you will need for this game is paper and pencils, candles, a lighter, or a book of matches, a wooden front door, which is closed, salt, this is where the supernatural comes in.
That also is just a witchcraft thing.
Yeah. A pin needle, which is sterilized. The lights in the house all must be off, which I don't like.
I'm already out. Nope.
That's a big nope for me.
That's a no for me, dog.
And then the instructions are, number 1, begin before midnight. Number 2, write your full name first, middle, last on a piece of paper with your pencil. Prick your finger with the pin and squeeze until a drop of blood appears. Dot the blood in the piece of paper and allow it to soak a little bit.
Okay, I did not hear about that part.
3, turn off every light in your home. 4, place the paper with your name and blood on it in the front door and close the wooden door. Light the candle with either matches or a lighter. Place it on top of the paper. 5, knock on the door 22 times. The final knock must happen at exactly midnight. Open the door and then blow out the candle and then close the door. And then immediately, number 6, immediately relight your candle.
Yeah, there was, I think, bits of information missing from the thing I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I believe it was about a dad who was playing this with his kids because he thought his kids were just playing a trick on him. Kids were excited to play it, so he's like, fine, whatever. Yeah, it was messed up.
Oh my god!
They ended up leaving. I'm pretty sure in the TikTok, they ended up leaving the house and staying at a hotel.
Wow, I have to watch that TikTok.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can remember where it was, and I'll try to find it for you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the main event, step 1, keeping your candle in your hand with the salt and matches or lighter close by. This is when you need to start moving around the house. You cannot stop. Step 2, if your candle goes out, you have to relight it within 10 seconds. And if you're successful continuing to move around your home, you can't stop moving until 3:33 a.m. Step 3, if you aren't successful in relighting your candle within 10 seconds, then immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. Do not leave the salt circle until 3:33 a.m. Just like Supernatural, every single time Sandy would say to somebody, do not leave the salt circle, they would leave it, and then they would probably die.
Yeah. But again, like I said, that is actually like a witchcraft tip too.
Yeah, I know, because I'm rewatching, or I'm not rewatching, but I'm listening to the rewatch podcast with the 2 actors that were on Supernatural. And they go into like the mythology and stuff, and that's where I'm getting some of my ideas from.
Yeah.
For like ideas to cover. I'm like, oh, that's a real thing. I need to cover that. Yeah. Or that's a real thing. I need to look into that. But like they say that too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this reminding me of Supernatural. I was like, just be like Sam and Dean. Just carry around salt everywhere.
But that is like a legit thing. Like I think it deals with any kind of like negative like energy.
It's ghosts, demons. Yeah.
If you don't feel protected, put a circle of salt around you.
Circle of salt. Which I'm going to be doing tonight because I'm going to be scared.
You can also put, because I've also done this before too, like where it was kind of like, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. You can also put a line of salt in front of your doorway. Different breaching. Okay?
Yeah, that's what Supernatural does too. They they do that in doorways and windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm relating too much to Supernatural. I'm sorry. It's my life now. It's taken over me completely.
It is her whole personality at this point.
It has been for a long time, but for a while there, it kind of like sizzled out. Like, not really sizzled out, but I was like, okay, I'll let it, like, I'll be normal again. But then I rewatched it, and that was a mistake because now it is my whole entire being.
Yep.
And now I cannot not reference it in every conversation that I have.
Kind of like with me and like K-pop and stuff like that. Like everything reminds me of.
It's just funny. Okay, so the end. 1, at 3:33 a.m., it's safe to stop moving around and step out of the salt circle. You can turn on the lights. The game is over. This game can be played with 1 or more players, and if there are more than 1 players, all players and or principals, because they're also called principals, they all must perform the invitation individually. Some warnings: do not use someone else's blood on your paper. Do not stand in one spot until 3:33. The Midnight Man will find you. Do not fall asleep. Do not leave the house.
Mistake the guy did. He went to bed.
Oh no. Do not use a lighter or some different light source in place of a candle. Do not turn the lights on during the game. And lastly, do not try to provoke the Midnight Man.
So what are you supposed to do? Just try to avoid him?
Yeah, that's really it. Like the whole entire...
So it's essentially like a game of like hide and seek, but never find the seek.
Yes, pretty much, because...
never find the seek, never seek.
The whole entire beginning of it is you're inviting him in your house. like with the candle, closing the door and stuff like that.
That's hard.
You're inviting him into your house, which he leaves. Yeah. So you're inviting him into your house, and then you have to run from him the whole time.
That's
That does not sound like
a
fun.
no for me,
My
dog.
house is small. He will find me at some point.
There's only one way in and one way out of my house. I mean, technically two, but
You're not
it's
also
locked.
allowed to leave.
Oh. Yeah, there's really nowhere for me to go in my house then.
Yeah,
It's
you have to like continue moving around, and I'll get into like more like nitty gritty of it because like there's stuff that like you have to like do too. But yeah, the invitation welcomes him into your house, and he is an entity. The goal of the game is to avoid him in the dark. Constantly moving around the house will make it more difficult for him to find you. And if you stop moving at any point, he will find you and catch you. There are differences in accounts of people playing this game who are caught by him. Some said that he will induce a hallucination of your worst fear until the game ends.
No. Just no.
Others claim he will remove your organs one by one.
No! That's worse!
I'm looking into your kitchen and it's dark, so I'm scared.
Oh, here, I'll go turn the light on.
I keep looking up. I'm like, I'm scared. Okay. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. She's closing the curtains. Okay. Well, I'll wait because it's the indications of when he's near, and you're probably gonna have some commentary on it. So you're good. Probably not.
I was closing my curtains, and I have a little doorway that you can see to like my backyard, and it's a sliding glass door, and I have part of it open because I have plants in that window. I was closing my kitchen curtains, and I look over, and I saw my silhouette, and scared the shit out of me. Yeah.
Remember when I said at the beginning you're probably gonna get scared? And you're like, oh no, I'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine. It's fine. Strike one.
It's okay. You'll play Final Fantasy whenever I leave, and you'll forget all about it.
Yeah. Cloud's so pretty.
Okay, so some indications of the Midnight Man is near are 1. Sudden drops in temperature, just like Supernatural.
And spirits in general.
Yep. Step 2. The sound of soft whispers with no discernible source. 3. The appearance of a humanoid figure in the dark. Which is why I kept looking. I was like, I'm gonna see a freaking like shadow figures and like I'm scared.
It's okay. All the lights are on now.
Except for over there, but your face is in the way.
I can shut that door too.
No, it's good.
Okay.
4. The candle going out. If you experience any of the first 3, leave the area you're in immediately.
Because he's close to you at that point.
Yes, he's like right there, so you gotta go.
You go.
You run. Don't stop moving.
Now my question, I don't know if it's explained anywhere, but like, is there a possibility that like as you're moving around, you can like, I don't know,
Bump into him?
go through him or something?
That's a possibility. I didn't see that whenever I was researching,
Okay.
but that's probably
Like,
a possibility.
Is that like allowed because like you're still moving, but he hasn't like you don't if you don't know he's there kind of situation, but you can sense he's there?
Yeah, I think that would be like the indications that he's near
Yeah.
probably would
Yeah.
be like showing.
But if you start moving around and like you run away, like you don't know if you just pass through him or not.
Right. Yeah. If your candle goes out, relight it in 10 seconds and it will keep him temporarily at bay. If you fail to light it in 10 seconds, make a salt circle. Do not fail to do either. Then there are no known methods to quit the game. So once you start, you can't stop.
Now, is that like you said he like never truly leaves either? Like you have to like continue to play this game every night?
No, but I'm getting there now.
Okay.
At 333, the Midnight Man will leave your house. After he has left, you can safely end the game. But do not assume that he's left your home for good at the end of the game, because he can probably come back, because you already invited him in your home once. So
what happens? Like you would just have to kind of continue to look out for those signs that he's there.
probably, yeah.
At that point, I'd be saging my house.
Yeah, burn it down with salt.
No, I think sage would probably be a good thing because sage is a deterrent for most evil spirits. But
Yeah.
I would maybe recommend if you do believe in any kind of, witchcraft or anything like that. Once you're done, if anybody's ever played the game, again, highly not recommended. Sage your house.
Yeah.
Sage your house.
Probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last game is called the Closet Game.
This does not sound fun.
No, because I don't like closets either. And then like this one is really messed up because like once you do it, it's forever there too.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's a paranormal ghost game that can be played with one or two people. The object of the game is to summon a demon.
Why? Just why?
There's no reason to why you don't get anything out of this. You could just play it just to play it.
So it's like one of those things like, let's just do it for S's and G's.
Yeah.
Okay.
In which this could result. Now this game is extremely dangerous because it can result into you getting possessed or being dragged into eternal darkness.
Do not try this at home, kids.
Not recommended.
Again, do not try this at home.
And then a safety note, if you do play the game, which it's not recommended, make sure that the closet is big enough for and empty enough that there's no danger of accidentally lighting anything on fire, and try to have a fire extinguisher because you will be using fire. Just be careful. If you do, but I'm saying don't play this game. I'm saying don't.
These are all just games that have been mentioned in the past about other people playing, but we are not telling you play these games.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting. This is just for fun,
educational purposes only.
This is just to talk about. This is not like this is like theoretical. It's not actually playing. Do not play these games. No.
We may have said that way too many times, but again, I feel like it needs to be reiterated because, repetition is the best way to remember.
Plus, I just want to make sure that you know we're not recommending. Hi, Artemis. Oh, he's meowing.
That's my cat, guys.
I hope you heard him.
It may have picked up, but his voice box is broken, so it may not have.
He's so cute, though. So what you'll need is a closet and a match. Instructions. Step 1, begin at night. Step 2, darken the room, turn out the lights out of the room in which the closet it's in. So turn off all the lights in the closet, outside the closet, everywhere.
Okay.
And draw the curtains. If the closet also has a light, turn it off. Step 3, make sure you have a match on you. Step 4, open the closet, go inside, and close the door. There shouldn't be any light like illuminating outside the closet or in the closet at all. Step 5,
hate this.
Yeah, you're gonna hate this even more.
Okay.
Step 5, stand in the darkness for at least 2 minutes. Do not move or speak.
No. No.
Step 6, after the 2 minutes are up, hold the match up in front of you and say this saying. I don't know if I should say this saying. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Show me the light or leave me in darkness. I don't want to say it. Okay.
Well, you're not actually in the closet and you're not actually doing the performing.
I know, but it still scares me.
Yeah.
Step 7, listen closely. If you hear whispers in the dark, light the match immediately and wait. If you hear nothing, do not turn around and wait. Step 8, if you made it this far unscathed, open the door and exit the closet and close the door again. Do not look inside the closet. Step 9, don't look in the closet ever again if you can, especially not without the lights on, burning bright.
So once you do this, you can never go in that closet again, or is this?
Yeah, you can never go in the closet again unless you have the light on.
Okay, so like in a normal instance, you're gonna have the light on.
I would think so, yeah.
Who would look in their closet? Dark.
Well, some people leave their closet door open.
Oh no!
I'm getting to that.
No. All my closet doors are shut and locked.
Same. I have a basket in front of both of them.
I have stuffies in front of one that Anthony, my husband, gets mad about.
Well, it's because my closet door is just open because they don't have like an actual doorknob. It has like that little like thingy that's like a little tiny because my house was built in 1910, so like it has like the old like tiny little knobs like this big.
Oh yeah, they're like microscopic.
Yeah, and like they open and like the wand can lead to the attic, and there's like a lot of like storage space in there.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid the cats are gonna get in there and get stuck.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what my cats would do. So I put stuff in front of the one closet, and the other closet I put stuff in front of because in that closet you can get to the tub and get underneath like in between the floorboard, like the flooring between the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you can like the cats can crawl in there, and because you could just like open it, it's not like shut or anything. So like I just keep that shut because I worry about my cats.
I have all of my closet. Well, I only have 2 closets, but I have them both like they have those little like hook and eye latches on them.
You have 3 closets.
2.
Oh wait, yeah, you removed the one in the game room.
Yeah, he turned that into like a cubby where all
Oh,
his
yeah, I forgot
bookshelves
about
are. But my two closets I do have those little hook and eye latches because I have certain little four-legged creatures in my house that like to open the closets because they know how to.
Yeah. So
Back on track, sorry.
what's going on here? Okay. People who have done this say strange things happen at night if you leave the closet open. Don't look in the closet with the lights off. If you do, you might see 2 points of light gleaming out of the darkness, glowing red like the tips of matches. There might be eyes, or there might not be eyes.
Either way, that does not sound like a good time.
Yeah. If you don't light the match in time, don't fail. You do not want to know what happens if you do, whenever you're playing the game.
Yeah.
There's no point to doing this one. There's no prize for winning, and the prices for losing are rather great. There is another version of this game, and it goes as follows. Hold on one second. I have to pull it up because I did not write it down. I'm just going to read it really quick. Ba-ba-ba.
So if there's no really reason, like there's no way to like quote unquote win the game. Also, if you're a 90s kid, you just lost the game.
Yeah.
Just saying. If there's no way to like quote unquote win this, why would you do it? Other than allowing this now demonic spirit to live in your closet for all eternity.
Because people just want to suffer. I don't know.
Somebody thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, somebody did, but it's not. So the other way to play this game is step 1, prepare. To begin the game, the group will typically start by turning off all the lights in the room and gathering in a circle. The summoner will then explain the rules of the game and lead the group in a brief meditation or prayer to prepare them for the ritual. Once everyone is focused and ready, the summoner will lead the group to the closet. Step 2, the closet should be empty and large enough and comfortable to fit all participants. Before entering the closet, the summoner will light a candle, turn on a flashlight to provide some light in the dark space. The group will then enter the closet and close the door behind them, making sure that no light is visible from the closet. And then step 3, you chant. Once inside the closet, the summoner will lead the group into a chant or prayer to summon the spirits. The exact words of the chant will vary depending on the group, but it typically involves asking the spirits to make their presence known and to provide information about themselves. The group may also ask questions to make requests of spirits, such as asking for guidance or protection. Step 4, I'm not going to say the chant. Just saying I'm not going to say it because it's a different one and it's long and I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. If you want to know, just Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it. Step 4, continue. While in the closet, continuing the closet game rules, the group may begin to feel a sense of unease or fear. This is normal reaction to the dark and cramped space, but it can also be a sign that the spirits are present. The summoner should continue to lead the group in the chant or prayer, while the participants focus on their breathing and try to remain calm. Step 5, contact. If the spirits do not make their presence known, the group may experience a range of phenomena such as cold spots, sudden noises, or even feeling of being touched. No, thank you.
Heck no.
It's important for the group to remain calm and respectful and to avoid provoking the spirits in any way. Once the group has made contact with the spirits, the summoner may ask them questions or request information. The spirits may provide answers through the use of a pendulum or a Ouija board. No, thank you.
No.
And they may communicate through feelings or impressions. It is important for the group to listen carefully and to avoid interrupting the communication. Step 6, closing. After a period of time going through the closet game rules, the summoner will lead the group into a closing chant to end the ritual. The group will then exit the closet and gather in a circle to discuss their experiences. It's important for everyone to share their thoughts and feelings about the ritual and to provide support for anyone who may be having a difficult time. Again, there are other versions and ways, but those are the two that I wanted to cover. And then another warning. While the closet game can be fun and an exciting way to explore the supernatural, it is important for everyone to approach it with caution. The game can be dangerous if not taken seriously, and everybody playing should be prepared for the possibility of encountering negative or malevolent spirits. It's also important to avoid playing the game alone, as this can increase the risk of danger. You should not play alone.
Now, is that only? I was to say, now is it only for that version? Because
that's only for that version.
The first version you were talking about, I think it specifically said you had.
It said you could be alone or you can have another person with you.
Or you can, okay.
Yeah. The first one was there's 2 ways. You could do it in the complete dark or you could do it with light from the beginning. the second one was that. But I just found 2 different versions, and I was like, I don't like either of these. But in the first one, there's no known reason for why you're doing it. And then the second one, you can ask questions or stuff. So like,
I mean, I guess that one makes a little bit more sense because it does give like somewhat purpose for it. Whereas the first one is just, let's just do this for shit and gigs.
yeah,
You know?
crazy.
That
I'll pass for all of them.
yeah. The only one I ever remember playing when I was little, and it's not even that I played it, my friends told me that they played it, was the Blood.
Yeah.
So that's the only one I ever remember.
The only one that I ever played was the Ouija board.
Well, yeah, we did the Ouija board too, but that was when we were young and dumb and didn't know any better.
There's also another one that I might cover if you guys like this, if you want me to keep doing these because they're interesting to hear about and not play. They're interesting to talk about and hear about. There's one where you're playing hide and go seek, but you're playing with a doll that's gonna chase you.
Oh no. No. No.
Yeah, that one's scary because you have to like name it. It's very freaky.
No. I mean, I'll listen to it, but no.
Yeah. That was another one that I found, but that one's like kind of long and
yeah, that was probably one you mostly about like in one thing probably. Yeah.
Or if you guys do like listening to this type of paranormal stuff and you let us know that, I'll keep covering this paranormal stuff, but if you don't, then just let me know. Won't cover it again, but I just thought it was interesting and I wanted to talk about it because they freak me out.
Yeah. Those are definitely one, like, I mean, the one, what was it? The Midnight Man, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
But the other ones I've never heard of.
There's also another one that's like the Midnight Man, but it's a man in the field.
So it's like Thunderman.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. There's that one too.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. Like there's so many. There's a lot. And like as I was like looking at things, I was like, oh, I should do that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like this one. And then I was just like, I'm just gonna pick this one because I was able to find more stuff at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah.
If you want to do
and if you do like this episode, please give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Please.
Like, share, follow.
Like, share, follow. Please tell your friends about our podcast. Please, please, please. It really, really helps us out. Because if we want to like grow, it helps to have listeners. It helps us stay relevant and in the charts. And please send us your stories, whether it's paranormal, true crime. If you have played these games, I'm not saying you should.
Or if there's other ones that you are interested in hearing, and or other ones that you have possibly played that we did not cover. You know, do you have comments? People can comment on these?
Yeah, you can comment. That's where I was going to. Because if you want to share your stories, you can email us at dreadfullytwistedpodcast@gmail.com or go to our Reddit page, which is /dreadfullytwistedpod. You can put your stories on there. You can email us. You can comment on our social medias. We have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at dreadfullytwistedpodcast. I don't know. We don't have a Twitter, but maybe we should make a Twitter. I don't know if people actually really use that. Or I guess it's called X now.
Yeah. I mean, people are still going to call it Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah. So if you want to go follow our socials, rate us on Spotify, please share us to your friends so we can stay relevant.
And share your stories.
Yeah, share your stories. And if you have like any ideas for us to talk about, please send those in too. We would appreciate it.
Yeah. We want to know, like, I mean, obviously well, I'm not on here all the time. But she wants to know what you guys are into.
Yeah, Maddie and I want to know what you guys are into. We love to hear back from you. And I've been thinking of some ideas for us to be more active on our social medias. Like maybe during Halloween we could do a pumpkin carving contest.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Or something. So like I'm thinking of some ideas that we can do. And for our Patreon, Jeremy gave me the idea of maybe we'll record it live for you guys. I'll have to talk to Maddie about that, but yeah, there's some ideas that I'm thinking of here.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different things you can do, but obviously they're open to ideas, so if you guys have anything that you might think is fun, just shoot them an email or message them or comment or anything.
Yep, I really appreciate it, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye! Oh, wait, I forgot. Bye. Stay safe, look out for your friends, be positive, spread love, be a good person. Okay, now I'm gonna end. I love you. Bye.
Don't be a dick.
Bye.